All right, here we go. Gonna give it a little shot here. Out on the Norwegian Sea, we are chilling on the 55-meter bank, and we're gonna give this setup a try. It's an interesting setup. Because 55 is a little on the shallow end as things go on the Norwegian Sea, we are able to do some experimentation with lighter lures like the 301. And then, but down here we've got 2308. Now, one thing I want to watch here is bite rate. I like a nice bite rate. If this is too slow with these big squid on, actually I meant to start with all of these 80. I think that's actually confusing to have one that's 60. Let's don't confuse things here. So that was what, 2301, I think. Actually, I think I had 2302 on there. Let's do that. But what I'm going to be looking for is bite rate. And if we don't have a bite rate, then what I'll probably do is switch to at least some mixture of 16 size squid. That might be one place I start just to see like how we do. So anyway, we're going to give this a try. I guess the hope here is have a chance at some larger fish, maybe some spicier fish at 55 than you might at typically at 41 or 34, although 34 and 41 have both been really good lately, which is, I guess, pretty typical. But especially I'm thinking of 34 catching a lot of lumpfish and stuff like that. So there's some pretty cool things coming out. Actually just replace this here. We have a good bite rate. We're going to be using a lot of these large fillets, so something like that, we might as well turn that into a large fillet. I do wonder if we'll get some decent fish on the drop. It's 1:16 in the afternoon when we're starting here. And the idea is to just get it to the bottom and do some strong perking and see what we can get to hook up here. So we'll see. I have not fished a whole lot at Norway lately because copper's been so good and I've been so just interested in copper. But the temperatures at copper just continue to be elevated, decreased, increased. And even now today it's still that way. So we're kind of waiting to see. Not that you can still catch some really good fish even with the temperature stuff, but it's not maybe quite as consistent as normal copper. All right, so you can tell that did take a little bit of time to get down to the bottom there, but that's because we have things like this plastic rattle on and these squid, which really slow stuff down. That's why typically on this setup you see the 1,000 lure, not only to catch bigger fish on it, but also because of the weight helps it get to the bottom. But since we're fishing 55, we don't mind it taking a little longer, and maybe that'll even lead to more occasional bites on the drop, which, again, anything to help with bite rate, I don't mind at all. So that's all theoretical. Let's see how this actually works. We'll try to make some adjustments if we need to. Guess if we can live with whatever this bite rate ends up being at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then it's probably, you probably live with it anytime. All right, let's go ahead and start this over. See how long it takes to get back down when we perk it up like that. We're not like on the side here, right? No. I like where it is right now because it's staying in the bottom layer the whole time, but we're still getting that strong perking. At least we were. All right. What I'm wondering about, the post I saw somebody fishing here, it didn't show their net, and I'm always suspicious when they don't show their net because Sometimes that means it's just too slow or the quality isn't what you want it to be. But the one thing they did show is they had a really nice small redfish. So I'm wondering what percentage of redfish we'll actually catch like this. That's what I'm assuming this is, although it could be a whiting. This is something very, very small. Or a very small haddock. Okay. All right, let's watch this, see if we get a fish on the drop. Per usual, once I kind of get a feel for the place, I'll probably start just bringing you back in when I have a fish on for the next few fish, and we can just kind of see how this spot looks. If it's too slow or if I don't feel like it's a good use of our time, the other thing I wouldn't mind doing is going back to 34 and using those pink quickers again. I think last time I did that was about a week ago, but I haven't done it since, and I didn't get to do it for that long that time. I think a lot of cool flatfish and stuff have been caught on those quickers lately. So, all right, so it's going on 3 o'clock now. Let's just see what the next fish we catch happens to be and how long it takes, and then I'll start maybe pausing and unpausing so that kind of showing you the fish. But pretty much what I'm going to be doing is getting it to the bottom here and then doing some strong perking. Too much slack, we're not getting perking at all. All right, there we go. That should get it. So I am hitting the right mouse button to perk it, but at the same time I'm holding down shift. And that accelerates the perk, and it just makes it easier to get the strong perk. You can get strong perk just by just doing regular right mouse button and holding down for longer and stuff like that, but it just tends to be easier if you interesting fish if you use shift. A little less, it takes a little less effort, I'd say. So a little bigger than a 2.5 kilo haddock, but still nothing super big. Like a cusk to me. All right, we'll take a 7 kilo cusk. Let's go again. That was a very quick bite, so I'll keep you here for one more. All right, here we go. We're kind of getting to the edge of this 55 bank right now. We're still on it though. All right, let's see what this is. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'll bring you back as I see some fish. The only problem with doing it this way is I forget to unpause when there's a fish on, but thankfully I remembered in time. This did not take long. Once it got to the bottom, I started doing a little strong perking, and it was pretty quick from there. Just hoping that if we do this for a little while, even if it's not quite as action-packed as, 34 or 41 might be, maybe we'll get rewarded with, one decent sized fish or something a little spicy. We'll see. So far I've kept it on the 8.0 hooks and the big squid. That's one thing I'll do before I pause the recording again. I'll check and make sure we know what each of these fish we've caught have actually been caught on. That could be an interesting thing while the lure's dropping. Alright, wow. Thorny skate, that actually is pretty cool. A couple of flat fish in a row then. Alright, let's see what these fish are coming in on right now. It's interesting. So the first fish, the haddock, was on the 02. The cusk was on the 02. The place was on the 08. And the thorny skate was on the Hunter 300. Good for that Hunter 300. I was kind of curious, like, would it ever get a fish in? And it looked like it did. All right, let's see what we have here. So, sunset. I did have a small, couple small fish, an Atlantic mackerel, 700 gram, and about a 5 kilo saithe that I will show you in the net here in a second. But the saithe, I just had no idea it was going to be a 5 kilo anything. I thought it was much smaller than that. So I can tell with this setup is just so overpowered for some of the fish we're catching, which does make me wonder if I should make it a little smaller setup. I don't know, but we'll see what this is, and I'll show you the other two. It's another saithe. So we're seeing plenty of saithe here. It's interesting. The mackerel was on the 02. The first saithe was on the Hunter. And then more recently, we had a saithe on the 02 again. So that 02's pretty active. Once again, a very quick bite. Let's look at our sort of minutes per fish here once we get this one in. I think it's really going to be decent. And, if anything, the weight is just because it does still take a little bit of time to go down to the 55 meters, but it's rare that I'm having to perk for very long though. Might just be a small cod, actually, yeah. 9 kilo cod. All right, so let's see here. 21, 18, 14, 11, 8, 6, 3. Yeah, it's just like every 3 minutes on average. Not too bad. This might be a decent, this could be another cod. It also could just be a decent cusk. We'll see though, hopefully. Oh, 08, 02. The 08 not been catching a ton, but did bring in that cusk, I guess. So I ended up taking quite a break. I hope this person doesn't mind me calling them out, but Evanson sent me a message a little while ago. In fact, you may have seen earlier in this video, needing some red worms. I sent him a few red worms. Other people might have sent him red worms. I don't know. Notice level 15. Do you have any advice on catching trophy Donich Ruff? And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, good luck with that. Give it a couple 100 hours. You probably need to level up to a much higher level, put points in some rig types, whatever. Holy cow, if he didn't just turn around and catch a trophy Donich Ruff. Again, level 15. Might not even be updated yet. Gonna have a Donich Ruff trophy? I don't even think people in chat recognize what just happened. A weekly record Donich Ruff. Anyway, just really, you just never know. You never know what's gonna happen. All right, so I've been away like for almost 30 minutes. So unfortunately, like I'm not getting a complete hour here, but we've seen some fish. It's been interesting out here. I'm willing to still say that like we've got a little video. We've got a little video. So let's try to get one more fish or something for you, and then I'll wrap this one up. Hopefully it doesn't take long. I'm not sure what the game thinks about me just sort of sitting in the boat for the last 30 minutes and not fishing, but here we go. Maybe this one will be the best fish of the day. We did drift further south since I've been away, and we did catch a very small cusk a minute ago, but see what we get here this time. Not what we were hoping for, but you know, fish is a fish. Hey, Wid, not a bad one to end on here. All right. A nice little mackerel order. Sorry, there's a lot of sorry action at 34 right now. If you wanted to do that, and wow. So if we had actually fished for that whole hour, let's say we didn't do as well in the second halving, maybe we make 500 silver. I mean, that's better than I was expecting. Some of the fish we're catching there is, you know, worth a decent amount though. So not bad. Like I said, the bite rate was really just good enough to be pretty enjoyable. So anyway, we're fishing 55, and this is what we were fishing with. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. As I try to ease back into a little bit of Norway fishing here and there. I will see you next time.